I'm just a boy from Kansas out to save the world from chronic disease. And I truly mean that. Nobody is in control of your health but you. I can't heal you. Your doctor can't heal you. You have to heal you. And it's all about having the education and empowerment to know what you need to be changing within yourself, within your life, to set your soul free and accomplish that best life that we all like to talk about. And I truly believe that the greatest medicine of all is to teach people how not to need it. I'm Brendan Vermeyer, the original Holistic Savage. Welcome to the Holistic Savage podcast.
On a personal level, as I'm doing my thing to wrap my head around what the collectiveness aspect of it. But I say that because I think this leads into what has really been emblematic for me this year is I think that the viral nature that I agree with you. I had little expectation coming on. When last July it was when I decided to take to social media. I had my own personal account and I had my private practice. So I had a little, mindful healing moniker up. I wasn't really using it though in any particular way. So when I decided to first come online, I had no real expectation except needs from my perspective, which were I think twofold, one personal and one professional. The personal was I was already well along in my dark night of the soul, physical health crisis, spiritual health, emotional health crisis, and my healing from it. So from a personal perspective, I was really lonely and isolated because within that journey, I started to look around to others around me, relationships that I had for years upon years at this point. Wasn't really seeing people outside of my partner, which I am ever grateful for even having a person to share that sort of really deep emotional and challenging at times experience with. I was looking around and I was feeling really isolated, really misunderstood, and really alone on a personal level. On a professional level, because I was really coming to terms, I'm really happy that you threw one of the words that you threw functional in front of, Brendan, was spiritual. Because as maybe surprising to some listeners as this might be, and I actually did a post or I incorporated this in a post this week, the soul, the spirit is non-existent I'm talking from a professional standpoint, in the training program of mental wellness in any way, shape, or form, even though, there's origins in the word psychology wrapped up around soma, soul, that concept, it's not actually addressed in any way, shape, or form. So
doesn't psyche mean soul?
It sure does. So which is interesting because it's very much the traditional model. And this is why I'm so motivated on a professional level to get this information out there to other practitioners. There's the mind, the brain, and then there's the body. And they talk about those parallels. They are non-connected in any way. So coming to a professional awareness that I was out of alignment with that, or with my new weaponry of all of the science of epigenetics and psychoneural, everything I was learning, the gut and all of the things that your audience is very well aware of. I had a very hard reckoning with my professional self that I could not work. It wouldn't serve me or my clients or my future or my soul, bring that word back in, to continue to work in that very traditional way. So
really this self-healing movement and awakening. And I love how, because self-healing, it's the only way forward. And that's where I had you on the FDN webinar earlier this year, because I look at it as the whole theme of this podcast with the functional fitness, functional medicine, spirituality, psychology, and all that. We're in this kind of holistic awakening. And so certainly a lot of what you just said is exactly also what's going on in the functional medicine space. And that's where what I am seeing is this holistic movement is really kind of a generational thing as well. With functional medicine, I was going to school full time while working full time as a trainer and nutritionist. And I knew functional medicine is what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to run lab testing and help people get healthy and, reach optimal health and all that. But something I was literally just conversing about yesterday, and I say all the time, there's no such thing as a doctor of functional medicine, nor is there a doctor of holistic psychology, as far as I know. So that's where, when I was younger, I ended up dropping out of college, dropping out of school to expand my education that way. And then, these days I literally travel the nation lecturing to medical doctors, naturopaths, and all sorts of, progressive.
There's a tasty sneak peek of episode 12 of the Holistic Savage podcast with our host, Brendan Vandermeer, and his special guest, Dr. Nicole. If you guys want to hear more of this podcast episode, make sure that you subscribe to the podcast channel. A full episode of 12 will come out on 12/12. See what we did there? Pretty fantastic. At 6 a.m., available anywhere that you love to podcast.